We're interrupting this program to bring you a live telecast. Our regular programs will continue shortly. Please stay tuned.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. I want to take the opportunity to welcome everyone who have come to celebrate with us at Heirs Holdings on our 14th anniversary. For us at Heirs Holdings, today is a very special day because it's given us the opportunity to interact with you and to give you a sense of who we are as an organization and what we've been able to do in the last 14 years. When we started this organization about 14 years ago, we were quite small and we were operating from a building on Glover Road. And each time we were having inductions, when we have few people that come to join the organization, we normally give them a number of books to read and some videos to watch. One of the books we used to share at the time was a book called The Power of Vision. And that book was a book that documented in some kind of, accolade and storytelling fashion, the power of the audacity that defined our chairman's journey and the results that he was able to achieve. So it kind of cataloged a phase in his life that showed clearly what the power of vision and the audacity, the ability to dream big, was about. And then when we started Heirs Holdings, there were three major strategic intents that we had as an organization. One was we wanted to be a predominant business group in Africa with interest in what we call transformative sectors. So we're very deliberate about the sectors we're going to play in because we wanted sectors that had a transformative impact on the African economy. Second thing was we wanted to build an integrated, strong, and high-performing group that was driven and motivated to lead in the sectors that they operate in. So key emphasis there was we wanted to be integrated, strong, and high-performing. And then the third major strategic intent was we wanted to build companies that would last. We're very particular about not building our companies, building companies that are individualized, but companies that are institutionalized, that will live beyond all the people that came together to begin to build the dream and the vision that our chairman espoused to us in Heirs Holdings. And these three major strategic intents, we synthesized it into three broad strategic objectives. One was to create value, which we called value creation. It was an objective. Two was what we call institutionalization. Perpetuity is how we used to define it as well internally, building businesses that last. And the third thing was social impact. The big thing about us as an organization is to ensure that whatever we are doing is not only creating a commercial return so that we can replenish the capital that we are deploying, but we are also creating developmental impact. And these three objectives have defined how we have run in the last 14 years. When I reflect on a personal level as to the 14 years, that book we used to share at the beginning called Power of Vision, I get the feeling that we need to do a sequel to that book. And if I was going to give the sequel any title, I would call it The Power of Execution. And the reason I say so is when I look at 14 years that have passed, those intents and those objectives that we set, this organization has ruthlessly executed on those initial, the initial dream. And just to give you some few statistics around that, when we started with 2 investee companies. Out of those 2 investee companies, only one of those companies was quoted, was a quoted company. And even the second company was non-operational, more or less like an SPV. In the last 14 years, we've transformed from 2 companies to 17 companies, out of which 7 of them are quoted on Nigeria Stock Exchange. And out of those 17 companies I mentioned, I'm not even counting the other subsidiaries that these companies are from. If I were to do that, we actually have somewhere in around 44 companies that this company has created, that has emerged right from 2 companies when we started in 2010. The other thing to mention, if you look at those companies itself in terms of the value that has been created, we've grown value in those companies in terms of capitalization of those companies by 4,140% in the last 14 years. And you know, I'm an investment guy. That is my background. That's what I've been doing in a couple of years. In the investment palace, you know, when we look at investment, particularly in private equity, one of the measures we look at is we look at the multiples that you've made in terms of people who use EBITDA multiple or whatever. If I took a multiple, and then you'll be so excited if you do an investment and you got a multiple of, say, 2.5 times or, you know, 5 times. What this organization has been able to create in terms of value from the time we started in 2010 to now, it's about 42.5 times multiple. Extraordinary. We've had a number of staff of when we started in terms of our investing company portfolio of 10, we've grown that by 4 times. We are managing a total number of staff of over 40,000 people. We've become a player. When we started, we're a player in one major sector, which is in banking. And today, we're a major player in about 8 different sectors, in oil and gas, in power, in hospitality, in insurance, in investment services, in technology, in real estate, and in health management. And with those companies, we've executed some of the largest sized transactions as far as this market is concerned, particularly in financial services, in oil and gas, and in power. From an M&A perspective, the M&A portfolio of deals that we've done as a group is well in excess of $4 billion. So when I say that I think the sequel to the book should be The Power of Execution, is because of when I look back and look at the transformative effect that we've had and how we've ruthlessly been able to execute on the dreams that we've had as a group. Before I go, one of the things I've also kind of reflected on is I've had many theories over the years, working in this group for 14 years, as to why we were able to ruthlessly execute. And each time I think about it, you know, how were we able to ruthlessly execute on the audacity and the vision that we had at the beginning? And there are 2 key levers that I can point to that I can say were important for us to execute. One of them is people, and the other is the culture. And if you are somebody who is you look at management theory, you understand that actually execution is a science, where there's an element of art involved, but the science aspect of execution, some of the core elements around that revolve around the people and the culture. Heirs Holdings has a very strong culture that you can almost cut with a knife when you come into the organization that has enabled us to be able to execute on our dream. So what I would like you to do is to join me in celebrating our chairman, the culture that he has helped us to establish, and the wonderful team that make up this phenomenal group called the Heirs Holdings Group. And so I will pause now and we'll look at the screen. And I want you to hear the story in a summarized version directly from our chairman.
HH Impact. We are indeed building to last, redefining success in every sector we operate in, and demonstrating our purpose to improve lives and transform Africa. To date, the Heirs Holdings Group, HH Group, invested companies employ over 40,000 young Africans, spread across 20 African countries, the UK, UAE, France, and the United States of America. Our philanthropy, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, has impacted 1.5 million young Africans and disbursed $100 million in seed capital non-refundable seed capital to 20,000 young African entrepreneurs across all 54 African countries. And their businesses have created over 4 100,000 jobs across Africa.
Thank you very much.
My philosophy of African capitalism, the belief.
Thank you very much. So I will now leave you in the hands of 6 of our, I mentioned that we have like 44 or thereabout CEOs, but I'll leave you in the hands of 6 of our CEOs who will now tell you a bit more about the story and the journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sam. As always a tough act to follow when you've gone on. So thank you all for being here today. My name is Owen D. Omogiafo, OON, President Group CEO of Transnational Corporation PLC, also known as Transcorp Group. So Transcorp Group is Nigeria's largest listed diversified conglomerate with investment in strategic sectors of power, hospitality, energy, and growing. Sam talked about the vision for Heirs Holdings. And Tony Elumelu, chairman, also talked about our catalytic impact in the video we just watched. Transcorp Group is one of the companies that Heirs Holdings is executing that vision. Through our investment in power, today we account for about 15% of Nigeria's power generation. With our investment in distribution, we actually cover distribution landscape of over 130,000 square kilometers. To put this in context, because of where we are based, Lagos State in terms of scope, square kilometers, is less than 10,000. So now take that into the 130,000 plus square kilometers that we cover, showing what we are doing in driving power, recognizing that power is critical to the economic transformation of not just Nigeria, but the entire world when you look at it. We have 3 power companies, Transcorp Power and TransAfam, which are direct investments, and we have an indirect investment in Abuja Electricity Distribution. We go into hospitality, where we have Transcorp Hotel, the clear leader in hospitality in Nigeria, and not just the clear leader in hospitality, but also the owner of the iconic Transcorp Hilton Abuja, the hotel that we are all proud of as a country. 670 rooms. But what would interest you is that we have a footfall of over 2 million people in that hotel on an annual basis. Our energy business, OPL 281, Transcorp Energy, we have our oil and gas assets, and we are also driving the charge on energy sufficiency, which is something that at Transcorp and the Heirs Holdings Group, we are very pivotal to. We're looking into the renewable energy space, and keep on watching, there's more coming. We are firmly rooted on the principle of African capitalism, and in that our principle of doing well and doing good. Sam talked that we had 7 listed companies. Transcorp Group has 3 out of those companies, which is tied again to our principle of wealth distribution. We work very well with our communities. Happy to share that every year we graduate about 2,000 children from our schools in Ugeli and in Afam, again creating that access to education. We also have our health facilities where we provide support to the communities that we work within. We strongly believe that Nigeria is now, not tomorrow, and that with the right factors in place, which we are driving, most notably power, we will continue to transform Nigeria, transform Africa, and improve the lives therein. Thank you.
My name is Osa Igehon. I'm the CEO of Heirs Energies. We are the operator of OLMS 17, which is a material oil and gas asset situated northern part of Rivers State. We operate about 5% of Nigeria's oil production, and about 5% of Nigeria's domestic gas production and supply. In addition to that, I also oversee Heirs Holdings Group's oil and gas portfolio. I think it's important to start with vision. Our vision is to build an integrated energy business that uniquely addresses Africa's energy needs. And the execution of this vision has started well over 10 years ago with several forays. But it landed in a milestone in 2021 with the acquisition of OML 17. In OML 17, our production, we have recorded significant growth. After we took over, we doubled our oil production from 27 to over 52,000 barrels of oil per day in the space of 100 days. And we also, on the gas side, took over the Agbada NAC plant and quite quickly put it to production where the previous operator had struggled to achieve that level of production before. All our gas production goes into the domestic market. Today, we supply three gas-fired power plants, the First Independent Power Limited, FIPL, Geometric Power, and our sister company, TransAfam. On the oil side, we had also gone through a significant hurdle of overcoming the period of oil theft that decimated the country's production, where in its various lows, we only got 5% of our production to a terminal, but today we are seeing over 85% of our production getting to a terminal with much appreciation and kudos to the government. It's also important to highlight that in executing and achieving these objectives and in our vision execution, we have done this with a number of key capabilities. Our first capability is our people, our organization, which we built from scratch, and is a 100% Nigerian organization, and using a unique approach, technical approach, which we've developed, which we call Brownfield Excellence. We work to international standards, and this is clearly reflected in the outcomes we have achieving. For example, for safety, where we've operated for over 3.5 years now with no lost time incidents. When we reflect on our social impact, noting fully that we clearly espouse the Afro-capitalism philosophy, where we are driving for commercial success, but also for social good. We are building a symbiotic relationship with our host communities. We have reset the relationship of the past, which was quite fractious and full of conflict, to one which is more symbiotic, where we now see ourselves as brothers and partners in progress, and we approach all that we do from that lens. We have instituted the HCDT, which the government has mandated through PIA, and the way we have implemented it has even been commended by our regulator. And we our host communities, our brothers and partners in progress, to build a HCDT for OML 17 that is most impactful in the acreage. When we consider ourselves, and we look at ourselves in the past 3.5 years, a number of things make us proud. We are proud of our contributions to Nigeria's energy security and sufficiency. We are proud of our organization that we've achieved. But most importantly, we are proud that within this space of 3.5 years, we're already seen as a top or the top indigenous oil and gas operator in the industry. Looking forward, you can still expect lots of big things from us. You expect lots of oil and gas production growth. You will see us expand our upstream portfolio. You will see us develop a midstream business. And we aim to take this template in execution of our vision to other African countries. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adesimbo Ukiri, and I look after the healthcare sector of the group. There are two companies in the group that cater to the healthcare sector. The first is Avon HMO, a health management organization, and the second is Avon Medical Practice. And you know, I always say that for you to be in healthcare, you need passion and you need grit. We all know our healthcare sector is beset with a myriad of challenges. But still we rise, and we are quite proud of what we've been able to achieve over the past 11 years of our existence. So, for instance, we have impacted over 500,000 Nigerians through the services we provide at the hospitals and also through the health plans that we provide. We have health plans at the HMO that caters to all classes of people. We have health plans for companies, for individuals and their families. We've also worked with communities. In, I think 2017, we worked with Shell to provide a community health plan to an underserved community in Newi, in Onitsha. So over the years, what we strive to do is to ensure that the people who interact with us, who engage with us, are able to live healthier and fuller lives. We have paid hospital claims of over 38 billion naira. And that's no small feat for a HMO. The word out there is that HMOs don't pay hospital claims. Everyone is different. We take payment of hospital claims as one of the primary things we can do to contribute to the growth of the healthcare sector in the country. In addition to that, what else are we famous for? Preventive services, education and enlightenment. It's good for us when people don't fall ill. So we work with you to improve your health situation. We've reached over 20 million Nigerians with educative articles, educative videos over digital channels, and we can see the results. We keep very, very good data. People who come onto our health plans, we can show how their health has consistently gotten better. And you know, in spite of all the challenges that we face in Nigeria in the healthcare sector, we're a strong believer that the future is going to be bright. We work with our regulator, we work with state governments as well, and we advise and tell them what they can do in order to improve the healthcare outcomes at the healthcare facilities. In the coming years, what can you expect from us? Well, we want a larger footprint on the hospital side. Right now, we are in Lagos. We operate a clinic in Abuja. We're in Afam. We're in Ugeli. But we want to go to other parts of Nigeria as well and set the standard for healthcare provision. We are also looking to expand what we do on the HMO side. We believe that the regulation can be more favorable because as it is now, you know, there's compulsory subscription to healthcare plans, but it's compulsory subscription to what the law says is a government plan. So we're waiting for further clarification on whether once you subscribe to a private plan, you've also met that. That will enable us to invest much more and to drive penetration. Penetration in Nigeria right now is just about 8%. 8% of the population have access to a healthcare cover. That means 92% don't. Nigeria is huge. It takes investment to reach all those people. So we are going to be at the forefront of that. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody, and good to have you all. So I'll be speaking on our payment and technology as well as the real estate sectors. First, within the payment and technology space, we have two leading companies. First is the Red Tech, which is an Africa-focused integrated digital payment and switching company that has been able to offer payment solutions, payment software services to a lot of financial institutions and government agencies here in Nigeria. We continue to power a lot of financial transactions across the payment space within these ecosystems. Today, we have at least five major licenses that have supported the solutions and services that we provide. First, we have the Central Bank of Nigeria Payment Services Solution Provider License that has enabled us to provide payment software solutions to financial institutions in Nigeria, as well as to various government agencies. Secondly, we have the Central Bank of Nigeria Payment Terminal Solution Provider License that has enabled us to provide point-of-sale payment processing services to our merchants. Thirdly, we have the Central Bank of Nigeria Super Agency License that have also enabled us to support financial inclusion activities through the deployment of agency banking solutions to our clients. We have the Nigerian Communication Commission's sales and installation license that have also enabled us to offer virtual airtime and data vending services to our clients. We also have the Nigerian Communication Commission value-added services license that have also enabled us to offer bulk SMS transactions services to our clients. We are in the process of getting a switching license from the central bank that will enable us to anchor switching services, not just for institutions, but largely for countries that are outside the Nigeria. We believe that the future of payment in Africa today leverages on being able to provide these switching platforms that will drive interoperability within institutions and foster commercial activities between individuals, between businesses and individuals, between businesses to businesses, and between government institutions, as the case may be. The second company we have within the payment and technology space is the latest company in the block called Heirs, and this is a cutting-edge, innovative technology company that started January this year. As we speak, we've partnered with at least 20 original equipment manufacturers across the globe, leading OEMs. And in a bid to succeed in this space, we have deployed the best training center, what we call the I Academy, that has enabled us to train software engineers, developers, that will anchor most of the products and services of these OEMs to offer them to their clients, as the case may be. We are a leading fulfilling partner to these equipment manufacturers, and we believe we'll be able to be the go-to company as far as technology solutions are concerned. Moving further to the real estate sector, we have the Afriland Properties. Afriland is one of the leading real estate investment management and development company here in Nigeria. Today, we pride ourselves as one of the largest land banks in Nigeria. We offer end-to-end services across the real estate value chain, from the property development to property investment to real estate investment to facility management, and of course, technical consultancy to those clients of ours that might have the wherewithal to invest but lack the technical expertise to succeed in those investments. We believe that the future of Nigeria in terms of housing opportunities is large, and we have a role to play. Some of you may have seen some of our products, the iconic Heirs Towers along Ajosa Adeogun, our beautiful best-in-class state-of-art office equipment along the Broad Street Marina, and a few other residential areas, the residencies just close to us here. We have the Heirs Court in Ikeja and a few other ones. We believe that the opportunities are there for us to tap into. And for those of you that have the financial buoyancy to invest in the real estate space, feel free to consult us, and we'll give you the best-in-class services. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Ashade. I'm the Group CEO of United Capital Group. I'm quite very delighted to be here today. United Capital has, in our portfolio, we are the Pan-Africa Investment Banking and Financial Services Group. We've been operating this year, clock 60 years in the soil of Nigeria. And so that could tell you the depth of how we have contributed to the growth in the ecosystem. Currently, we have in our portfolio 7 different businesses. We have investment banking, we have security business, we have asset management business, we have trustees business, we have wealth management, we have consumer finance, last case that was just launched last week, UC Microfinance Bank. It's been indeed a journey, again, transformative and visionary, leaning on the foundation that's been set by our leader. We have carefully structured these businesses to interest you. 5 years down the line, we had only 4 of these businesses in operations, and that is the investment bank, security, trust, and asset management. Fast forwarding, we have moved from 4 to 7. And in terms of looking at each of these businesses, the first 4 are currently, ranked top 3 in each of their sectors. Like for our asset management, I'm interested to note that 3 years ago we are number 13. As we speak today, we are number 3 in the ecosystem. And this is a company that has grown from 36 billion like 4 years ago to 500 billion under assets under management for the collective investment scheme alone. But in terms of the total ecosystem of asset management alone, we are 900 billion. And when you look at United Capital as a whole, we've moved in the last 5 years from 75 billion as a total assets under management to 1.5 trillion today. And this is quite phenomenal. And looking at the asset investment banking business, there is hardly any major investment banking transaction in Nigeria that will not see United Capital playing a very key role. Of note is the ongoing federal government US offer that is going. We are the key lead arranger in that, which is very, very instructive. Again, partnering with government to ensure that we are able to develop Nigeria. And going from there, we'll look at our security business. Some 3 years ago, we are number 26 in the stockbroking arena as far as Nigeria operating space is concerned. In July, we celebrated being number 1 stockbroking firm in Nigeria, which is quite very, very instructive in terms of growth. Our trustee business become a rallying point as far as Nigeria operating sector is concerned, because one is the oldest and the largest in terms of transaction and in terms of AUM growth today, as it were. And again, in furtherance to our mantra within the group that we want to improve lives and transform Africa, we've voyaged into financial inclusion space 2 years ago, so that at least we will live our vision, we live our purpose within the group ecosystem. I'm interested to know, just between 2020 and date, we have disbursed over 50 billion credits from the ecosystem of our consumer finance. It was the impact of because we were determined and intentional that we want to democratize access to credit, and we'll let people have access, because when we say you want to improve life, people need some soft, to attend, especially the SMEs, to ensure that we are able to support them. And we were particular about this, and we went all out. Looking at the growth there, that led us to thinking outside the box that if we could do this using our consumer finance platform, why can't we just play more through the microfinance? Hence, going into a microfinance community. And I can tell you that as far as that space is concerned, watch out, because we're really going to make that, because we were determined, before we said we have a strategy clearly cut out, that we are not going to just be an onlooker, but we want to make things happen in that space. And part of the ecosystem that within my coverage as a group lead within is Africa Prudential. So we are Africa Prudential to play a very key role in terms of investor services in Nigeria, and now it's almost 55 years that we've been playing, and one of the foremost and the only listed investor services in Nigeria. And consistently, they have grown wealth for their various shareholders by over 350% in the last 3 to 5 years. And that again is quite very instructive. So when we look at financial services, one part is, so mine is part A of the financial services within the ecosystem, HH Group. We have the United Capital, and we have Africa Prudential PLC that is doing that. But we believe that the best is yet to come. Currently, We operate in Ghana, and we operate, we just gotten an approval to operate in Wamo region. That's 8 African countries added. So we'll be having 9 African countries now that we are operating. And this is, you know, when I say the best is yet to come. The vision is strong. We believe in it. We are proud to be part of it, and we're going to drive it with all tenacity and loyalty to ensure that we keep it together. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Niyi Onifade. I'm the CEO of Heirs Life Assurance Limited, and I'm also the sector head of Heirs Insurance Group. Heirs Insurance Group is the insurance arm of Heirs Holdings Group. So we are a group within the group. Heirs Insurance Group comprises of 3 vibrant insurance businesses. The first one is Heirs General Insurance Limited, which is a non-life insurance company. The second one is Heirs Life Assurance Limited, which is a specialist life insurance office. And then the third one is Heirs Insurance Brokers, which is an intermediary, an insurance broker. And talking about Heirs Insurance Brokers, Heirs Insurance Brokers shares the same year with Heirs Holdings. That means Heirs Insurance Brokers is also 14 years old. And today, Heirs Insurance Brokers is one of the top 5 insurance brokers in Nigeria. Due to different regulatory hurdles and complications, our parent company, Heirs Holdings, did not get the operating licenses for Heirs General and Heirs Life on time. In fact, it took 7 whole years for us to be licensed as Heirs General and Heirs Life. But then, we thank God, finally, we launched to the public on 1st June 2021. And I must thank all of you for the support that you gave us on that beautiful day. Now, we started operations stating several things that we will do, that we will improve lives and transform the society. Today, we are well recognized as the fastest growing insurance group in Nigeria. Additionally, we said that we will leverage on technology to make insurance accessible to everyone. Today, we are doing that. We are well recognized as an insurance company that offers simple products, accessible products, and affordable products, leveraging on technology. And talking about expansion, over the past 3 years, we have been able to open offices across the country. Today, we have 7 regional offices and about 30 different branch offices and retail offices as well. In addition to that, we've been able to introduce to the market simple products that anyone can access and understand as well. I also believe that you want to know about our performance. Over the past 3 years, we have been growing steadily. By way of revenue, at the end of last year, we were able to generate a total revenue of about 40 billion naira. And that was about 100% increase compared to the previous year. And talking about profitability as well, we grew our profitability by more than 200%, delivering about 6 billion naira by way of PBT. Now, for us, it's not just about profitability or revenue. we believe that a very good insurance company or group must live up to expectation by paying claims. So for us, we look for reasons to pay claims rather than looking for reasons not to pay claims. And based on that, last year alone, we paid a total claims amount of 8 billion naira, which was about 400% increase over what we paid in year 2022. When we also launched to the public, we said we will be a very good employer of labor. At that time, we had just about 10 employees. Today, we have more than 200 staff in our employment. Additionally, we have given employment to more than 2,000 direct sales agents across the country. Now, we also believe, just as our parent company does, that when we do well, we should also do good. So we take CSR seriously at Heirs Insurance Group. Recently, we donated a 30 kVA solar power to the Nigeria Passport Office here in Ikoyi. And that is to hasten the issuance of passports to people, particularly when there is power outage. We also launched what we call Heirs SA Championship Competition for junior secondary school students. And we've been running that for the past 3 years. That is a way of giving scholarship to the young ones. We also support African creatives with a total sum of $30,000 across Africa. And we tag that the Tony Elumelu Storyteller Fund. And finally, we support all the laudable initiatives of Tony Elumelu Foundation. So ladies and gentlemen, let me seize the opportunity to thank you once again for the support that you have been giving to us since we launched to the public in 2021, and to seek further support from you because we are on a journey to making insurance accessible to every Nigerian. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together once again for our CEO. So you've heard from me briefly. You've heard from the video. And you've also heard from our phenomenal, like I mentioned earlier on, some of our phenomenal CEOs. So I think it's time that we hear from, how do they say it, the man, the myth, the legend. Please welcome Mr. Tony Elumelu, our chairman, CEO.
So you have done some from financial guru to MC. And you're doing well, Sam, by the way. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Great pillars. Well done. I've been so proud listening to all of you speak. I want to use this wonderful moment to share 3 pieces of advice or commentaries. First is, as they say, when one door closes, many others open. 14 years ago, we woke up to a regulatory policy that CEOs of banks who had done 10 years plus must step aside. So this journey started from that. And so what I preach and share with young entrepreneurs, my children, and those I am opportune to mentor, is that when things seem bad, do not give up. Persevere. Be resilient. Convert your fear to hope, and convert your hope to ambitions, and make things happen. If we were in despair 14 years ago, if we were crying over nothing indeed, if we were looking at the other side of the glass that portends nothing but despair, gloom, anger, we won't be here today. So please, in life, I share this with all of you. This is, in fact, my gift to you all on our 14th anniversary. Do not give up in life. See the other side of the glass. Do not despair unnecessarily. Keep the hope alive. Do not be afraid. Turn it to ambition and work hard to actualize your new goals. Second message is, if you look at all the great things we've achieved in the past 14 years, Tony Elumelu as a person did not achieve this. All of this have been possible because of the great men and women that we have professionally assembled, not because you're my son or my daughter or my brother or because you carry bags on, but the best in class. They take the vision and they even multiply the vision more than I have done. Listening to everyone here, is quite exciting, humbling, but telling. Leaders should focus on assembling a great team. Share your vision, assemble a team, give them the space to operate, motivate, sanction when necessary. And chances are you would even surpass what we have done at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And everything that comes to my brain is about the foundation. And so the important message there is prioritize your people. Assemble the right people. Be very professional and objective as you do so. And share with them the vision and what DNA, the software that you need to achieve that. For us in our group, it's about 3 E's. Execution, the discipline of getting things done. That's what has seen us this far. 2 is enterprise. Let everyone be enterprising. Whatever you do, how can you make it better? Think like an entrepreneur. And lastly, excellence, the culture of getting things done in the right way. And that is why, as a group, it's not just about making money, but we must make money in a manner that depicts excellence. And the third point I want to share this morning, in all of this we have achieved, nothing would have been possible. Nothing, not 1% of it, without God. It is by the grace of God that we have even been alive to see the past 14 years metamorphose, in fact, go beyond our imagination. It is God that has given all of us the life, the energy, the strength, and in fact, the inspiration. So in everything, we must first give credit, recognition, glory to God for making everything possible. And related to that is having a great country. You know, when we all travel outside the country, 24, 48 hours after you travel, you almost start missing your country. I say to people, we must, all of us, team up to build a very successful, great Nigeria, because from Nigeria, we can only grow to other countries if we do well in our home country. So as we celebrate our 14th anniversary, I want to use this opportunity to call on every patriotic Nigerian, every successful Nigerian, and even those who are struggling. Let all of us team up to make life better for everyone. Let's build a stronger country. You know, I shared this first story or message about seeing the good side of the glass also. What we do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation, supporting young African entrepreneurs, supporting Nigerian entrepreneurs, of which out of the 20,000 plus lives we have touched, at least 50% are from Nigeria. We do this not out of the abundance of wealth, but because to us, it is important that we think beyond ourselves. We think beyond our family. We think about a future where there's prosperity. We do what we do through the $100 million US endowment to the commitment to the foundation, because we believe that poverty anywhere is a threat to all of us everywhere. We must build together. And more importantly, we believe that what counts is not the naira or dollar we have in our bank accounts, but how we use that to prosper and to help humanity. And that is why, as a group, it's all about improving lives and transforming society. So as we celebrate our 14th year anniversary, I want to call on everyone that we must commit to improving lives and transforming positively our society. So to our great HA people, our leaders, our directors, Dr. Elumelu is here. She's one of the founders of HH and chair of some of the companies in the group. And to our great SOD people, to Nigerian people, to Nigerian government that has created a supporting environment, and to all our customers, regulators all over, we say thank you for making our 14th year worthwhile. And we thank you, God, also for everything. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My job is very simple. Very, very simple. And it is to my constituency, the media. This is a media parley. You are to ask questions. But before you ask the questions, we have a bit of, rules. 3 questions will be asked at a time. Then answers will be given. After that, we'll go for another 3 questions. If you want to ask any question, kindly raise up your hand. We'll give you numbers, and we'll go from there. And in the room, we have journalists from every part of the country, and also people who have joined online. So we have also made provisions of people online to ask questions. So let's go. If you have questions, kindly raise up your hand. Please, you will mention your name, the organization in which you represent, and ask just 1 question. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go. Where is the microphone? One, 2, 3. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Uche Usim. I write for the Sun newspapers. Mr. Chairman, I want to know your biggest challenge. And this question has to do with the fact that other players in your sector or where you compete in say that Forex and stuff like that, and the environment itself is very, very toxic. And here you're saying it's very, very conducive. So I don't know. So how do you marry this and tell us your magic wand? Thank you, sir.
Okay. The second person? Okay.
Good morning. My name is Adidakwa Adesoya. I write for Business Post Nigeria, meaning my forte is on the business side, banking and all that. My question goes to the CEO on payments and tech and real estate. Okay. You mentioned switching license. I'd like to know more about that. What has been done? When should we be expecting progress? And when should we? What are the next steps that we should be waiting for? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The third person. Okay.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and congratulations on the 14th anniversary. My question is to the chairman, and it's good to hear the strong focus on vision execution and also wealth distribution. But can we? My name is Kenneth Iboma from CNBC Africa. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. So it's good to hear the strong focus on vision execution and wealth distribution, especially listening to all the directors who have spoken as well. But can we expect to see some more listings from some of your brands to maximize their impact? And also, what's guiding the strategy for expansion beyond Nigeria?
Okay, let me give microphone to the group chairman.
Sorry, what was the first one? I heard the second one about what your first
challenges.
The challenges.
Yeah, your biggest challenges and the fact that you say.
Oh no, I heard you. No, I'm talking about the last CNBC guys. Okay. No, I heard you.
More or less, the first part of my question is: can we expect to see some more listings from some of your key brands?
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.